Hey, how are y'all doing today? Thank you for stopping by. And thank you for the follow. You know, I'm new at this, so appreciate you checking me out. I put together some stitches from TikTok regarding the responses from the State of the Union address. Some were quite interesting, and some were right on track with what they should be. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Listen, y'all, I am so freaking hyped right now. I am so freaking hyped because Sleepy Joe has woke the hell up. Listen, I don't know what Joe has been doing, but this State of the Union address tonight was fire. He came out swinging. He spit facts. He drew the GOP in. They boo. Yeah. He was like, oh, wait, so you don't want $1 trillion cut? Wait, so you don't want to give tax cuts to the poor and the middle class? Wait, so you just want to keep giving tax cuts to the 1%? Oh, you don't want to boo no more. Oh, because he drew you in? Because now, what are we saying right now? What are we saying? What are we doing right now? Listen, I'm about to be on the picket lines or the voting lines. I'm about to sign up so many people because Joe, he did his thing tonight. That State of the Union address was a 10 for me. It's a 10 for me. Joe woke the hell up. Listen, if y'all thought the walker and he was about to be, listen, the walker is out the door now. You hear me? You hear me? He got running shoes on. He ready. He ready for 2024.
Did y'all hear that? There are still some of us out there with that mindset. And y'all, think about that couch now. Think about that couch now. If we, I'm as an on-code person, I am considering the couch. But if the couch gonna allow him to get back in, baby, no ma'am. We cannot have 4 more years of this. We cannot. Think about it. Please think about it. Okay, let's continue.
Last night was the State of the Union address where President Biden addressed the entire nation. And if you didn't watch it, you clearly did yourself a favor, but we must talk about something that he said. President Biden went intentionally off script to go out of his way to dehumanize undocumented immigrants.
Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of thousands of people being killed by illegals?
Using the term illegals as a way to correlate criminalization and murder, dehumanizing an entire population is just a tactic that he's using to go more right on immigration, succumbing to Donald Trump and the Republican MAGA agenda.
Really? Okay, so they don't stand anywhere. They don't like Biden because of what he said. And they don't like the Republicans because they think they have some type of agenda. So, is this the voting class that's coming over to replace the black vote? You sure about that? Because it seems like they won't be voting. They're just going to keep collecting that check that you're giving them. Okay, let's continue.
These are my 5 takeaways from the State of the Union address. First one is how much he despises Republicans and how he is not going to try to unify our country on any level at all. 2, if you thought we weren't going to World War III, I would really hope you reconsider after watching the first 25 minutes of the State of the Union. He goes on into depth of how much he wants to take out Russia. 3, I'm unsure of how we have a president who doesn't know how to do basic math. I'm not even sure why that was allowed, what was said. 4, her name is Lakin. Lakin, not Lincoln. Lakin Riley. Not Lincoln. Lakin Riley. Laken Riley. And 5, we're even more screwed than we thought we were.
Somebody else, please.
Before we get into her, oh girl, the last one. Okay, most of us are thinking like that. Now, this lady, she had some type of existential response. You know, she's the type that reads, you know, into spirituality and chakras and things of that nature. She's into feeling with your soul, I guess you can say. But this is what I'm talking about. Check this out.
Please tell me that they had an actual physical, spiritual response to the State of the Union address last night. Everybody that has gone through an awakening, spiritual enlightenment, this journey has told me, FYI, be advised, you will very quickly stop doing 99% of the stuff that you've been doing. Yes, I have. Regular mainstream media, really don't watch it. News, don't want anything to do with it. Most TV shows, I had a couple that I deal with because it's something my husband and I watch together. Don't listen to regular radio except when I'm in somebody else's car. It sounds like noise and it just makes my head hurt. I watched the State of the Union address last night. I've always watched the State of the Union address from the president that is getting ready to exit office and the one that just gets into office or just gets reelected. The minute Biden walked out onto the floor, I literally, my body, everything, and I had been feeling the buildup, but the minute he walked out, I was like, bleh. I literally felt like there was energy that I just needed to expel. And the buzzing in my ears started to change. The frequency started to change. And I've started to listen to these things because I've realized that if I don't change what I'm listening to, where I'm at, the buzzing gets so intense, my head starts to hurt. So I'm watching this last night and the buzzing is increasing. My body is feeling just... He mentions putting ships in the water and building a pier for Gaza, which we need to help. I will not deny that at all. Something doesn't feel right about it because the minute he mentioned this, I swear to God, it was like my root chakra was on fire. And I grabbed my lower abdomen and I'm writhing in pain. And then the buzzing in my ears went from buzzing to multiple different pitches, frequencies, at volumes, at different speeds, in and out, and different in each ear, going to the point to where I've got one hand grabbing my lower abdomen, I've got another hand up by my ear, and my husband is sitting next to me going, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? It was so excruciating. Finally, I was able to get out. Turn it off. I'm going to be sick. Somebody else, please tell me that I'm not the only one within this awakening journey, that if you watched last night's State of the Union address, did you have any other issues? Because I only have this ringing typically when I am not paying attention to my guides that I need to stop watching, stop listening, stop doing something, or when I'm in a meditative state, it comes with downloads. You know, I wake up from my meditation and I know things. I know it. I feel it. There's no questioning it. But that typically is, you know, a more calm, a more laxed. This last night was just like I was being screamed at in different frequencies in each different ear.
Baby, he is always thinking in his head that he's screaming at us every time we have a question. He ain't screaming at me, but we about to show him. We about to show him what he can do with his screams, his little attitude that he gets anytime the subject of reparations comes up, and he pivots to how, I don't even want to say it. It's so insulting. That's why he's out of here. Out of here.
Well, hey, everybody, just check out this freaking shit. What do you think about Joe's speech last night? Wasn't it friggin' epic? That speech was friggin' epic. Everything that he said last night, oh my God, gave me chills. It was friggin' epic. I love how he didn't take no friggin' shit from no damn friggin' Republicans sitting in that friggin' chamber. And shame on all of them. They make themselves look like a damn friggin' joke. And Mike Johnson, he sat there the whole friggin' time shaking his head. What's this? He never got up to clap. He didn't do nothing except shake his head back and forth like an idiot. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene shows up with a MAGA hat. Oh, please. What a damn joke she is.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. How you see what's going on in this country, inflation, invasion. Money mismanagement. Can still sit up there and say, oh my God. He's the one. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? So you still have a section of the population that still thinks he's that guy to lead us. They should probably get a psychiatric check, but they're still out there. So that's all I'm saying. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Goodness.
Did Joe Biden really just say that America is safer today than when he took office? I think it's fair to say that a vast majority of people can agree that Mike Johnson was our spirit animal with all the faces he was making during the State of the Delusion address last night. And listen, I don't give a frog's fat ass about Democrats getting all butthurt that I'm talking about Biden here. And that anytime you bring up something wrong about Biden, it's immediately followed by, well, Trump this, and what about Donald Trump? And yeah, but the orange man. Listen, I'm not talking about Trump or Trump versus Biden. And I don't care what side you're on or who you're voting for. But we do need to talk about that State of the Union address. Because damn, let's start with some of my favorite points from last night. Starting with America has been having a strong comeback from COVID. I'm sorry, what? Exactly what comeback are we talking about here? Because I'm pretty sure life has been absolutely ass backwards, and we've never really seen any type of pre-pandemic normalcy. I also love when he boasted about all the new jobs being created. If you spent any time on this app, you'll see the endless amounts of people who are talking about how this current job market is the worst they've ever seen. With people applying like crazy to jobs, not hearing back, or the only jobs that seem to be available are the ones that require a master's degree, 30 years of experience, and start at $14 an hour. Or how about when he said that our economy is doing so well that our economy is the envy of the world and that inflation is going down? I mean, what level of delusion are we on here? Have you all not seen that viral Five Guys receipt showing $24 for a burger, fries, and a drink? If inflation is going down, I'm sure as hell not seeing it anywhere. And I'm sorry, our economy is doing so well that it's the envy of the world. That has to be one of the most insane comments I have ever heard. No one can afford rent. Food prices are out of control. Credit card debts are higher than Willie and Snoop on 420, but our economy is doing so good that it's the envy of the world? Listen, it's no secret that this State of the Union address was going to be watched by millions, especially because the state of our country is absolutely fucked right now.
I agree. I totally agree. Okay, let's move on.
President Biden's State of the Union address, a blend of optimism and accountability, or perhaps a dance around the hard truths of our time. President Biden said the racial wealth gap is as small as it's been in 20 years. But let's unpack that. While the president touts progress, the numbers tell a different story. In 2022, for every $100 in wealth held by white households, black households held only $15. According to Federal Reserve data, the racial wealth gap widened during the pandemic. A $240,120 divide between white and black households speaks louder than rhetoric. Biden said consumer confidence is soaring. Yes, confidence is high, but who's benefiting? Biden celebrates infrastructure projects built by American workers, but let's not ignore the elephant in the room. The Center for Immigration Studies found that illegal immigrants control about 15% of all construction jobs. Is this what Biden means by built by American workers? President Biden said America is coming back and our future is brighter. A bright future indeed, but for whom? President Biden talks of emergency powers to secure our borders, yet the border security bill he championed falls short for many. Politics, he claims, derailed it, but some argue it lacked teeth from the start, coupled with the fact that nothing is being done about economic sanctions crushing the country's economies, where many individuals are illegally immigrating from. President Biden said, some Americans came here in chains. Acknowledging history is one thing, but where's the action? Biden's words on historical injustice ring hollow without tangible efforts towards reparations for Black Americans who suffered under those same chains. President Biden said Israel has a responsibility to protect civilians in Gaza, a nod to global responsibility, but will Biden walk the talk? As Israel faces scrutiny, will the U.S. leverage its influence to ensure accountability, or will it be business as usual? In the end, this State of the Union address was a mix of hope and hesitation.
A mixture of hesitation. Not so much hope, but it's hesitation mixed. Just hesitation. No mixture. Just hesitation. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. And here we go.
The Biden campaign just broke more fundraising records this time.
They did?
Pulling in a whopping $10 million within 24 hours of President Biden delivering his State of the Union address.
$1 million! 100-yard dash. Although you were very excited to brag about how much money he raised after the State of the Union, to me, that signals a little bit of panic on the left. I mean, if everyone is just so damn confident in JoJo and he's just going to mop the floor because everyone's going to realize that Donald is terrible, why would he need that much money? Oh, wait, hold on. I think I have the answer. Oh, it's because he just wasted $30 million to launch this ridiculous campaign ad. Money well spent.
Yes, the left is, full of them folks over there in Gaza. They got a lot of money. So, they help each other out when it's time for campaigns. So, that's how I see it. Okay, let's move on to him. Let's see what he has to say.
So I want to hear y'all's thoughts about.
And sorry about the pointer. I move it eventually. I didn't know it was there as long as it was, but I moved it eventually.
About last night, because like I said, I felt like he definitely was on something last night, the old man. My thought is that's why he was late, because they were waiting for it to kick in. There's a lot of yelling and shouting and screaming, to make it seem like he was authoritative. I don't know if that's somebody that told him that. Maybe the chick with the press secretary chick told him to do that. He blamed Republicans for everything. He said Laken Riley's name, which is the young lady who got murdered in my state. And I think but he just kind of like brushed over it, which was super insulting. He mentioned Donald Trump's name a whole bunch of times without mentioning Donald Trump's name, which is crazy to me. At the end of the day, if you're the president of the United States, why are you worried about anybody else? If you're the president, you're the president. Talk about things that you want to get done to us. Like, your predecessor has nothing to do with us anymore because he is your predecessor. He's not here. That's just my opinion. And then the last thing I got to say is, like, the whole border crisis situation. Like, he just kind of blew that off. Like, it's almost like, I'm asking my predecessor to join me. Why should he join you? There were a whole bunch of things that he did that you undid, and you're trying to backtrack. What I think it is, like, why can't they ever just say, like, listen, man, we messed up, and we're trying to fix it. They never said that. It's always blame, blame, blame. So that's my take on it. And then by the end of the night, I started seeing like the whatever he got started kind of wearing off. Just my whole thoughts. What do you think? I don't think it was great. I think it was horrible. It was a state of delusion address or the state of confusion address versus the state of our union address. Just my thoughts.
I agreed with everything he said. Okay, so moving on to the next one.
All right, everybody. So, can we just talk about the State of the Union last night? We're fucked, We're all fucked. We got these fucking people, all these fucking people, clowns, running the show. We got the fucking orange clown. We got the one that looks plastic, And then we had this fucking crazy ass lady from Alabama, the mayor or the governor. I don't know what the fuck she was. But she came on and she had a response, And this bitch was going through all kinds of fucking emotions. Like her face was all fucking contorting, during her fucking speech. She was going from being super happy, fucking
fucking then getting crazy angry. Her cheeks were all lit up. You know, she was changing color on TV. And then she was kind of like fake crying a little bit, but no tears were coming out, you know? And fuck, I couldn't find anybody at the State of the Union that had fucking lips. What the fuck was going on? Nobody had lips, but everybody was saying so much. Nobody had lips. They were like this. Fucking lips like this. Couldn't even talk right. The bottom of his chin was fucking quivering, that president. And then, I don't know, the fucking guy behind him was rolling his eyes and everything. The other bitch must have had fucking itchy cooch syndrome because she kept standing up. You know? Standing up and then sitting back down, standing up and then sitting back down.
Okay. You know what? It annoys me too, all the standing up that they do. Clapping over points that don't make sense. But I agree with the no lips thing too. Okay, here is another one. Here we go.
The State of the Union was just an absolute shit show. All Biden did was essentially just blame Trump for all of his failures, as if he hasn't been in office for over 3 years and able to fix said issues, and he's just chosen not to. He quite literally got up there and made the same promises for 2024 that he made in 2020 that he didn't do, and people are just standing there and applauding like fucking idiots. And that man got up there and had the audacity to say that crime and murder is way down and it's lower under him than it was under Trump. Yeah, it's gonna be lower if you're not charging anybody and letting them go with no bond. He also acts as if he didn't create the border crisis. He literally blamed Trump for the border crisis when there was a wall when Trump was in office, and on one of Biden's first days in office, he decided to get rid of the wall, and now he's going and blaming Trump for the influx of illegal immigrants. And then you had people there chanting 4 more years as if this man's gonna make it another fucking year. Let me know what you guys thought on the State of the Union. I thought it was just a bunch of bullshit and Biden saying the same shit that he always does and always passing off accountability and not wanting to own up to his failures. It was just absolute bullshit, but let me know what you guys think.
Agree. Okay, for this particular part of the video, it's a small little pivot to content creators. I just wanted to throw this in here to show you something. Take a look.
So I'm traveling, but I just want to share this quick message related to the State of the Union. And this video won't be about the content of the speech, but more so about something that I'm noticing around it. So many of you probably know this, but some of you might not. But for a while, the Biden administration has sent out invites to creators to attend briefings and to come to the White House for different events, including the State of the Union, and this has been going on for a few years now. And one of the first and most prominent times this happened was related to the war in Ukraine, and I was an attendee of that event that went viral thereafter. And I've personally been to the White House a few times since, just for context. And around the time of the Ukraine briefing, I actually authored a piece in Newsweek that was about creators getting invited to such important discussions. And the reason I'm making this video right now is because I feel like a lot of the fears that I outlined in that article a few years ago are coming true. So don't get me wrong, I am the biggest champion and advocate of having creators in these spaces for advocacy, for journalism, and just to generally be a voice for their community. But after watching a number of recaps about the State of the Union, my fear is that a number of creators are not being responsible with the opportunities that they've been given. It's almost like they're being intentionally uncritical and not disclosing what's incentivizing them to do so. Those incentives being these invitations and whatnot. And the growing concern amongst a number of creators that I know is that the people who are publicly critical of the administration in a very outspoken way are not being reached out to at the same way that they were before. So this is just a PSA for viewers to turn your media literacy all the way up this election year, and for content creators to be more critical and be more responsible.
Okay, now this next clip is sort of a response to this clip that just played. Let me show you what I mean.
I could not make up right now what I'm about to tell you if my life depended on it, the irony of it all. This is better than Who the F Did I Marry? This is better than Love is Blind. This is better than the Mark Zuckerberg lining the pockets of politicians last year to get rid of TikTok. This is better than that. Because 3 hours, not even 3 hours ago, a bill was unanimously voted on. 50-0. Not one person voted to keep TikTok. 50 people voted against it. So now it goes to the House next week. But just wait. The same White House, the same administration, and this is both sides, left and right. Everybody together voted on this to ban TikTok. The same administration is hosting 150 content creators from TikTok right now watching the State of the Union address. They paid them a ton of money to get content to post it on TikTok because it is a new way to reach voters who do not engage with traditional media, which means they themselves find value in short form content and how it is spread on TikTok and the reach that it has. So there's some millennial or Gen Z staffers in the White House that said, we need content creators here because that is what's working. You know how on American Idol, like they put people in a room and they say like, hey, I'm sorry, but you're not moving on. Imagine at the State of the Union right now, if the president just turns to all these content creators with their phone and goes, hey, I don't know if you guys know what just happened 3 hours ago, but you know how you make a living on this app? All 150 of you guys, we're paying you right now to be here to film this, to put it on TikTok. Yeah, we just voted your job away. You have no more job in 6 months. Coincidentally, your job will be ended a couple days after a new president is elected. Coincidentally. I cannot make this up.
I cannot with this administration. Okay, so the next one is the last one, and it's funny, yet so real. I just had to kind of end with a little bit of a bang. Here we go.
Why is there this big drop from the 87% of black vote that the president got in 2020 to seeing 62% in that Morning Consult Bloomberg poll? Is it a real thing that the president's hold on black voters is slipping?
Look, I'm not black, so I'm not sure why I am on this panel, but I can tell you this. The Democrats don't care about people of color in general. They only care about their votes. And Joe Biden made that clear when he said, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. And those people are waking up to the fact that they are being used by the Democrats. And their message is clear. Fuck the Democrats.
Once again, thank you for stopping by, and talk to you soon. Peace.